I like this song.
My heart is yours.
I
You
feel like a
got the power.
DJ.
Pussy power. You got the power. Pussy
Hey,
power.
boos. Welcome to episode 13 of the Young Monarchs podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in yet again. If this is your first time listening, welcome to the pod. I'm really excited and ready to get back outside. This whole quarantine thing has been 2 weeks now for me working from home, and I am starting to get antsy. I am ready to get back, and I am ready to start having featured guests back on the podcast. I have some exciting people that I really want to talk to that are going to be on the podcast soon. So I am really excited to get back in these streets. Be sure to follow the podcast if you are listening. We're also on YouTube now, which is now so. If I ever am pausing or slipping up, it's because now I'm recording a podcast and a YouTube video at the same time when I'm doing the podcast episodes. So if you ever want to watch the podcast or just see me and my pretty little face, you can follow the podcast on YouTube at the Young Monarchs. It's pretty much, sorry, blah. It's called the Young Monarchs channel, at the Young Monarchs channel on YouTube. It's also in the link on our Instagram, my personal Instagram and the podcast Instagram, and check out the YouTube channel. I'm bringing you all kinds of content that goes into creating a life that you love. I genuinely feel like from the things that we do in our career to beauty, wellness, lifestyle, um, everyday life, it all goes into how you feel at the end of the day and how you feel like your life is. And I want everybody to love their lives and love everything that they're doing. So I'm just sharing different things. This week I'm gonna have a video on the creative corner on the YouTube channel, giving y'all a little more information on me and why I love what I do so much. But there's going to be a lot of content coming on that channel, so be sure to subscribe and definitely check that out. So for this week's Boss Shit segment, I wanted to give a shout out to everybody that is either working from home during this quarantine or hasn't been able to go to all the places that they normally go to, because by week 2 we are like, when are we gonna get to when is the streets gonna open up and when are we gonna be able to be great again? And I am waiting for that too. But y'all really should be careful out there, even though it's like it's an everyday thing that is hard to stray away from, like shaking someone's hand or just being around people who are not feeling well. You're always like catching little colds, but now this is something serious, so you really want to do what you need to do to take care of yourself and the people around you. But definitely shout out to you guys who are using this time to do whatever you need to do for yourself. If that's resting, working on your projects, doing whatever it is that comes to your little heart. Shout out to you. And I really hope that we can just stick this out, write it out, see how it goes when it goes to everything politically and the things that go into our like socioeconomic lives and across the country and everything that's going on. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to us. So I was doing this thing at work for the month of March, International Women's Month, and not International Women's Day was this month, and then it's Women's History Month in March. We did this thing at work where we just got to know different coworkers and things that we worked with. So I went on, we call them coffee dates. So I did a coffee like FaceTime this week with a girl that I work with, and by the end of the conversation, she was guessing my what is it, horoscope, my sign. And I let her guess. She's like, she wanted to guess, so I let her guess. And it was right on T. Like, I don't know a ton about astrology and horoscopes. I just know, like, me. I don't even know, like, who I get along with and who I don't get along with. But I know about me. And, like, men and women who are Pisces. Like, that's it. I don't know nothing about nobody else. But she like read me to a T. She was like, you know, you're really flowy. You go with she was like saying like I go with the flow, like whatever's going on around me, I kind of adapt quickly. And she was like, you know, you seem so loving, like you would never want to hurt anything or you never want to harm anybody. And she even said that, like, even with my passions and the things that I'm going after, like, I don't exactly know where I'm going, but I do know I'm going somewhere great, even though I don't really know, like, honestly, like, it wasn't a complete read because, on, like, for real, I don't know exactly where I'm going. Like, I see like bits and pieces of different things that I can do one day, like me being up on stage and talking to panels. I see that. I see me doing like different things in entertainment marketing and different things in modeling, but it's like I don't know where I'm going to end up at the end of the day, but I know I'm going somewhere, and I just felt like she read me to a T. So to finish up my birthday celebration, I just kind of wanted to like dive into this Pisces thing that like describes who, not even like diving into like astrology and of being a Pisces, diving into more of like the person that I am and the person that I'm growing to be, and seeing how like in all actuality, if you believe in it or not, it kind of similar to your horoscope. Like, even if you don't feel like you 100% connect. So with us just being in the house and not being able to do some of the things that we're normally able to do every day, like go to the gym. I don't know if, I guess malls, I don't know if malls are closed. I know a lot of restaurants are closed. For this week's Get Your Head in the Game, I have a message on the power of positive thinking and really starving out the negative thoughts and knowing that if you just focus on those positive things that are going well and trying to do more of those, how it can really like change your aspect on things in everyday life. And I'm learning every single day that how important this is, and how, for me personally, it all starts with waking up and having that moment with God every morning to like assess what's going on, learn something, get some wisdom in some type of way, and just keep going. So check it out.
It's easy to go through life holding on to things that are weighing us down. Guilt, resentment, doubt, worry. The problem is when we allow these things in, they're taking up space for the good things that should be there. Imagine your life is like a container. You were created to be filled with joy, peace, confidence, creativity. But if you allow worry in, it pushes out the peace. There's not space for both. You can't go above 100%. You have a limited amount of room. If you allow guilt to take up space, that's space that you don't have for the confidence you need. And the reason some people don't enjoy their lives is because their container, their heart is contaminated with so many things. They have 10% worried, stressed out over their job, 12% bitterness, mad at their neighbor, 20% guilt, beating themselves up for past mistakes, 9% jealousy, their coworker is more beautiful. They don't realize 70% of their container is negative. They wonder why they don't have joy, creativity, passion. They only have room for 30% of what they should have.
Since we know that right now you are not living your highest vision of yourself. Now, having seen the differences between where you are and where you want to be, begin to change. Consciously change your thoughts, words, and actions to match your grandest vision. This will require tremendous mental and physical effort. It will entail constant, moment-to-moment monitoring of your every thought, word, and deed. It will involve continued choice-making, consciously. This whole process is a massive move to consciousness. What you will find out if you undertake this challenge is that you've spent half your life unconscious. That is to say, unaware on a conscious level of what you are choosing in the way of thoughts, words, and deeds until you experience the aftermath of them. Then when you experience these results, you deny that your thoughts, words, and deeds had anything to do with them. This is a call to stop such unconscious living. It is a challenge to which your soul has called you from the beginning of time.
Give no place to guilt. Give no place to worry. Give no place to bitterness. It can't come in and automatically take over. You control what's in your container. You control what you think about, what you choose to allow in. And we all have negative emotions, negative feelings. You have to make the choice. I'm not going to give this jealousy, this bitterness, this anger, valuable space and let it poison my life. I'm going to protect what I allow in me.
So I did some research on what the Pisces sign is, well, not the sign, what the sign is, but what the Pisces like horoscope is for 2020. And I'm going to see how close and similar it is to me and how I'm feeling about it. And it starts off by saying, because I'm a water sign, I need some type of container to like shape my life. And this year, I'm encouraged to kind of find that container. And they base that container based on more so of like your tribe, like people that you are solid with and the people that you have around you. And to a sense, I have that to a sense, but that I'm definitely, that's like right on the nail of something I want to do this year is just put myself out there more and build more relationships with women that I can have like good relationships with. Because I told you guys last week I'm having one of my old friends from college on the podcast to have an episode on friendship. But that is pretty much the story of how I lost all my friends at one time. And since then I haven't been like super open to making friends, but it's also because of me and me just not putting myself out there all the time. So this year I'm definitely putting myself out there more and reaching out to the people that I want to spend time with and want to get to know more. And it is going well. So that's something I definitely did already, was like putting into motion and just like being more of a consistent friend. And even in times where it's like I like may mess up as being a friend, I always try to like reach out and mend things instead of just being like, okay, whatever, it's over like I used to be. Another thing it says, I'll find confidence and courage to put myself out there more, and I'll get a clearer sense of who I am, which I pretty much just said what I've been doing all year, especially with the podcast and being more consistent with it. And even now the YouTube channel of spending more time focused on myself and the things that I want to put out there. So that's really cool for me. It also says if things feel off to you, you have the right to say no and not to feel afraid to earn that no. Not to be afraid to own that no, my bad. But that's absolutely true, because in instances and situations where I haven't wanted to do something, or I felt like somebody really wasn't for me or really wasn't trying to mend something, if I was trying to mend something with them, I kind of had to be like, well, bye. Because now it's just like, I know as an adult, like I have to, if I feel like something is off, I can either talk to that person, which I do now. I try to be as direct as possible and just say how I feel and put that out there. And if it's not reciprocated in any type of way, or I feel like somebody ain't feeling me, then it's just over with. But it says another thing about this year, that you're getting deep and getting real with yourself and others about your beliefs, aspirations, and the ways in which your feelings are called to evolve and expand. And that is absolutely what I just said. I feel like I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to do. I know what I want to do. Now it's more so me being consistent in following those things each day. And when I do those things, figuring out, oh, how does this feel when I'm doing it? Or how does that feel when I'm doing it? To really know like what's right for me, and really staying on my personal like journey to doing what I need to do for me and creating what I want for myself. But it all started when I was having this conversation with my coworker, And I was just like, I really love the fact that she like felt that in me and felt that in the conversations that we've had and just being around each other through different events at work and hanging out. Like she felt that I was like all of these like loving things and like chill, flowy, kind of go with the vibes type of person. And it really like showed me how important like energy was and how like you can really feel if somebody is kind or if somebody is not kind or if some like what somebody's intentions are. Like you can feel that around them more so just by like how they talk to you and what they say, not compared to what they say and what they do. It's even more than that. It's like you can feel what they're giving you, even if you want to realize it or not. Like you feel the vibes, you know the vibes. So for this week's Get Your Life segment, one thing that is going well in my journey, I feel like right now, is me being able to organize. I have been organized like for my whole life, but that skill of just me wanting things like in a certain order, I mean, not wanting to forget things, I mean, wanting to know like what's coming next and kind of making sure each like little thing is crossed off of my list is now really benefiting me because I can see a whole week and kind of manage my time wisely, especially because I'm not using my energy to get up in the early in the morning and making sure I'm dressed and presentable and come to work. Even though I like going to work, I really have been for the past 2 weeks enjoying working from home, even though sometimes it can be a challenge to want to get up. But I appreciate the challenge of me. Sheesh. I appreciate the challenge of me seeing what it's like being somewhat on my own schedule and seeing how I can make everything work for myself. And I'm really enjoying that. I'm really liking like all the things that I'm learning to create. And I'm really seeing like I thought my creation was only like marketing wise, but now I'm seeing like by me making my own like banners and my own YouTube channel intros and social media posts and all kinds of things like that. I'm like expanding my creativity beyond what I ever intended on doing it, but because I'm on a budget and making these podcasts are not free, I'm doing all of these things on my own, but I'm like learning skills and I'm becoming even more like marketable and beneficial to myself because I can create all these things for myself. So that is going well. One thing I am struggling with is still like my early morning routine of the things that I want to do. Like I want to be up by like 7, 8 and do my like morning readings and meditation and get like a 30 minutes or an hour workout in before I start sitting down and doing work. But I have been staying up late creating so much stuff for this YouTube channel and this podcast. I have been going to sleep so late. So I know like there's a benefit to me just knocking all the things that I want to do marketing wise for the podcast and the channel. But it's also like you also have to manage your time even more if you are planning to have so many things that you're doing. So me incorporating rest has been a struggle that I need to fix this week. And me also setting the time out to do like making sure I work out because I was going to the gym and I still have a goal. And when this is over and I can get back outside, I'm gonna want to be outside in my bikinis at the pool. So I gotta do what I gotta do. So for this week's motivational tea, I am so excited that you guys are enjoying the podcast. And for this week's motivational tea, I just want to tell you guys whatever it is that you're doing that you have a passion for, your little side hustles, whatever it is, make time for it. Like, even though this time, like, we're at home, like, don't dedicate your whole nights and days like I've been doing. I've been trying to get things done quick so I can just knock it all out and be done. But like take time for yourself to rest, like self-care, do your beauty things, but every day do something for yourself that builds your brand or you create something that you love, if it's art, if it's music, if it's dancing, like if it's science, math, like arithmetic, whatever it is, like do something that you love every day that helps your future that you're creating for yourself. And I also want you guys to send me your story, send me your motivational tea on the podcast. You can reach out to our the link in the bio in the Instagram @_young monarchs to tell us stories of, tell me what you're doing during this time. Like, what are you working on that you're super excited? Are you just resting now? Like, are you online shopping like I'm about to be doing next week? Like, what are you doing to get through your days that you want other people to know? Like, is a way to spend the time. Just enjoy this time and use the time as wisely as you can. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the Young Monarchs podcast. Again, I am your host, Tiara, Miss Tiara XO on Instagram. And make sure you check out the YouTube channel and this podcast. Follow it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next week.